I messed up my knee on Thursday. So now I am finally back in the shop. So I had to take a couple days off, rest up, get this leg kind of healed up a little bit. And it seems like it's in okay shape. Still rough. Probably gonna take a couple weeks to get back to normal. But I'm here on Sunday doing what's in the shop, doing a little bit of finish work, and got a couple things built. And got lots of things to show you guys in the final assembly. Lots going on in paint. We're having lots of paint issues. We're actually doing a lot of transitioning in our paint system. So I'll talk about what we're doing with our new paint system towards the end of this. I'll also talk about sales, what we got going on in the sales pipeline, and sales are interesting right now. Go from selling a lot of furniture to selling a lot of hardware, and that's one of the reasons I'm always talking about having different revenue streams, because when one thing is down, another's going up, and it kind of just helps kind of level things off. But anyway, I'll show you guys what's in the shop, and we'll talk about all that other kind of stuff. And yeah, what is this? This is what it is. On Fridays, we do what's in the shop. Today I have to do on Sunday because, like I said, I hurt my leg. But anyway, my name is Eric Wilk, and I own the Splendid Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We are a small boutique furniture manufacturer and paint company. We do small seven figures, and we got 7, 8 employees right now, and it's a good business. But this is what it is to run a business. This is what it's really like inside of a little factory, and you can do this as a normie. You don't have to have an education. You don't have to be rich. It does take a lot of work, and you'll bust your ass, but it's worth it. So I'll flip the camera right here. We're in the wood shop right now, so I'll show you guys kind of what we got going on here in the wood shop, and then I want to take you guys back to kind of our receiving area where we've got a lot of furniture that came in. I'll show you some beautiful Asian furniture that's come in that's on our vintage side. So that's what we got going on. Okay, so for starters, we got a pair of these 80-inch Zane credenzas. I'm always telling you guys these are bread and butter cabinets, and this is actually how we make money. So obviously making the really nice stuff is really cool, which I'll show you over here. But this is stuff that makes us all the money. So we sell probably, I don't know, close to 50 of these a year in all different sizes for about $5 a pop, and they're fairly easy to make, and they have a really high margin on them, which is good. So the legs are all made in Pennsylvania. I don't even make those anymore. We make the bases, of course, but anyway, it's a cool cabinet. So we got that. These are all the doors. So we build the doors in bulk, and they're just rested on here with a weight on top of them because we don't want those doors to move, right? So we're gonna leave that stuff for several days, especially in a humid environment. You wanna weigh all your stuff down. This walnut credenza, I hopefully will get back to this week. I've started kind of working on it and kind of figuring out what I need to do to get it whipped into shape. So in here, we have this kind of key lime vanity. The shippers dropped it, so we repaired the broken trim along here. This has all been repaired, and then we've repaired all this. Now we'll run this back to our sanding department. They will clean all this up with patchwork and sand it, and then we can get it repainted, and we should be able to get it back to the customer hopefully this week. So anyway, so that took a while to get that thing done. When these things break, it can be a real pain in the butt to kind of piece them back together. So we do that with wood glue and super glue and just a crap ton of clamps to get stuff to go back together. So anyway, that's what we got going on there. This is our crotch mahogany sideboard, and again, these are all the fun things to build, and these do make some money, but they do take quite a bit of work. The veneers alone on this thing are about $1,200. They're real pricey, but they're beautiful. Whereas the credenzas over here, these are the bread and butter. These are what I make more money making one of these than I do making one of these, and that's just the unfortunate reality of making furniture in America today. So over here, we've got our walnut sideboard. I'm prepping this thing for finish. Right now, I put a bunch of grain filler in there. I'll be releasing a short, and I'll show you guys kind of what I was doing. But anyway, I got a whole bunch of this right here. So this is grain filler from Mohawk, and it's natural color, but I tint it to where it's kind of a, let's see here. It's kind of a walnutty color. Hold on, give me 1 second, bro. Wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm doing, then I'll talk about comments and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this is what we kind of put in here. We'll slap this on here using a spreader, and then we sand the bejesus out of it and get it looking primo. So that's kind of what's going on there. But all this stuff has to be grain filled, because if you don't grain fill your wood, you end up with a lot of pores within your finish, which is what we don't want. Since we spray a lot of lacquer, we want our finishes to look like this. Let me show you guys. So we want our finishes to literally look like glass. That's kind of how we do it. We don't want there to be, we don't do a lot of matte tones, and we don't do a lot of like traditional type finishes. Our customers like the high gloss looking stuff. And so that's what we'll do. But you have to fill it, because if you don't fill it, you end up with something that looks like this. See all that shrinking in the grain there? Creates a finish that, you know, it's okay for some people, not like us. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing right there. Get this thing done, and then I can get out here. I'll show you guys what the fronts look like. I've already got the fronts lacquered, so we can take a look at them here in a minute. So yeah, that's kind of what we got going on as far as in the wood shop, things we're working on. So okay, we'll go in the comments real quick. Okay, who's this? That was this 9 Justin, something like that. Thank you for subscribing, appreciate it. Let's see here, like the vids, good. Let's see, looks like glass, yes. Okay, so yeah, good to see you here subscribing. So here we'll run back to receiving real quick, and I'll show you guys kind of what I got that came in. It's pretty good. So we flip this camera back around. So we had this Sabota. This is Century Furniture. This Sabota came in, and we're going to go ahead and we'll lacquer this thing. But you can see the Sabota stuff has this beautiful brass hardware. You know, Century does a really nice job. You kind of see you can see the tag right there. They did a really nice job with their furniture. It's beautiful. It always sells really well when you paint it. There's the nightstands. And again, lots of really nice brass details. Like I said, they just did a great job with this furniture line. We sell a bunch of it. This company was founded on faux bamboo furniture right here. So we sell just tons of this. And I've designed all of our faux bamboo furniture that we make here off this type of, this is Thomasville. Come back over here. We got more. This is Stanley's faux bamboo furniture. So this is the way that the furniture company Stanley made their stuff. So they got a nice saber leg down at the bottom, and they use kind of a different knuckle. It's much bigger. And then they also have kind of a unique trim. They also do a really nice brass cap on their stuff. So that's Stanley. And again, here's Thomasville. Also does a saber leg, but notice they've got the fretwork on the bottom, and they do a more of a traditional faux bamboo trim all over their cabinet, which is really cool. And if we come in here to sanding real quick, we got the rest of the Stanley set here. So you see the Stanley stuff it's cool. Stanley makes really nice looking stuff. It's not as faux bamboo-y as some of the other stuff, but it's really nice. The chests are always awesome. They got this nice caning on them, which caning's making a comeback, believe it or not. I get a lot of requests to make furniture with caning. These, of course, are going to be your Thomasville nightstands. Again, you get your Thomasville fretwork, saber leg, really nice looking piece. But anyway, these 9-drawer dressers down here, these are getting real popular again. This is unfortunately just how furniture works. This stuff, you couldn't sell it a year ago, and now something that's hot again. But with this particular piece, again, really nice brass hardware. So we actually manufacture this hardware. So we sell that at thirstlightandcrow.com, but pretty sick, right? Nice one. I like to see that beautiful brass hardware. So anyway, that's what we got going on in there. All right, so we'll run into, let's head into the wood shop and then paint. We'll kind of go over what we got in the paint department. So yeah, it's been a busy week. Holy hell! I'm glad I got employees, man. When you have to go down for a couple of days, it's nice to know things are still kind of running. Didn't always used to be that way. Okay, so just finished up framing up this curved vanity. So we make a lot of vanities. This is just one of our curved ones. So now we'll go ahead and make the curved doors. And the doors I make out of what's called wiggle wood or bendable plywood. So I got a whole bunch of jigs that I use for bending all of my curved cabinets. So I've got a bunch of different curved panels. I always write the radius on there so that I know what this radius is, right? So this 30-degree radius I know will go on that cabinet over there. So we also got some longer radiuses for different kinds of cabinets, and basically make a big bent panel, then you cut it down the center, and then you get 2 doors, you know. So that's kind of how stuff kind of works. We do lots of bent panels. It's just kind of what we got to do. So I'm always veneering stuff up. Okay, paint department. Okay, around here. Okay, let's see. So these sideboards are starting to get we're just selling tons of these right now. So this thing is primed and ready to go. And we've started grain filling everything. So we didn't used to grain fill all of our stuff because it just wasn't necessary. The finish was good enough, but as we've upped the price on our pieces, you got to have a better looking product. So we started grain filling everything. And if you go over to this Baker piece, like, look at that thing. That freaking is awesome. It's big, beautiful dressers. But anyway, if you look really close, you can see the grain filler in the grain there. So we're starting to grain fill all of our stuff, which just really helps to keep the primer and the paint from shrinking into the finish. So it's a cool looking piece. Again, Baker just makes such beautiful stuff. They're a great furniture maker. But anyway, again, you can see all the grain fill that we put in here. so that that mahogany doesn't suck up that that primer. So and over here we got more dressers. Again, all grain filled, and this is some kind of oak, I believe. But anyway, it really helps to keep your finish from shrinking into your cabinets. So over here we got all kinds of drawers that are in various stages. See here, this is like the first coat here. Still needs some work, so we'll block sand that, and we'll hit it with another coat of lacquer. That's kind of a big deal. Here, the second coat. These look really nice. You can see there's no imperfections in it. Consistent finish, looks really nice. So here we've got drawer boxes. These are going to be cherry drawer boxes that have been stained in what's called espresso, and then have been lacquered. So we lacquer all of our drawer boxes. We hand make all of our drawer boxes here at the Rustletics Crow, but we're sure that we always clear coat them. Anyway, people really like those. So that's going to go to a sideboard that I'm building right now. So lots of those, and here's the colors. This is the color Swiss Coffee. Again, looks like coat number 1. You can still see the grain and stuff in there. So again, we'll flat sand that, and then we'll put another coat of lacquer. That'll look pretty slick when it's done. So if we come into if we have anything in here right now, since it's Sunday. So if you just got some kind of a dresser in here. So this is Thomasville dresser. The only thing that I have in the booth right now, or the drying room right now. But the finish looks pretty good. So really nice looking gloss. It's kind of hard to see in here because it's dark, but again, finish is exceptional. He did a really nice job. So this is going to be a Mohawk base coat and a Sherwin-Williams clear coat. That's how we get our exceptional gloss on all of our furniture. So okay, more comments. Let's get out of here. Okay, let's see what we got now. Again, guys, hit the like button, add to the discussion. I'll try to get to the comments. I'm just kind of running around here. Like I said, I'm gimpy today because my leg's messed up, but I'm here anyway. I'm showing you guys what's going on. Okay, I'm an artist like Diddy. Okay, you're a kind of a goofball. Okay, Rush plans you just say hi. Hello, Rush, good to see you. I'm sorry. Mississippi had some of the best wood. Why do people source from there so much? It's not Mississippi that has the best wood. It's actually Louisiana. But Mississippi being close, I guess you might think that. So Louisiana is actually a hub for rot-resistant and exotic climate timber. So things like cypress is a big thing. They sell a lot of cypress wood down in that area. They make tons of exterior grade products from that kind of stuff. So you have just tons of material coming up, specifically from Louisiana. There's a company down there. I'm drawing a blank. There's Boise Cascade, which is going to be in the Pacific Northwest, which is really big. And then down in the southeast, there's, god dang it. Sorry, guys, I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head, but they're also a major manufacturer of timber products, plywoods and hardwoods, and they're down there. And I forget the name of that company, but they're massive. So that's why a lot of your products are coming out of Louisiana. And Mississippi, again, I don't know too much about Mississippi, but I do know Louisiana is huge for exterior grade plywoods and hardwoods. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm in Texas, can't find the text. Texas, yeah, not a lot of timber products come out of Texas, I wouldn't imagine. Big state though. I got family in Texas, down in Austin. Okay, I'm gonna flip this thing around, and we're gonna go back into the rest of the paint department. Look at some more pieces we got that are in transition right now. I'm gonna pull over one of these vanities. Like I said, I'm gonna talk to you guys about some of these new paint systems we're using and kind of where our paint product is going. Okay, flip around. Okay, so we've got all this stuff in here outside of the booth that needs work. So this is, let's see here. This is gonna be a straight up buffet. And actually the finish is pretty decent on this thing, except if we look on the back here, see all that? Got some bubbling back there, can't have that. So we'll end up flat sanding this top, and we'll probably put a coat of clear over it. You can sand your lacquered tops, the base coat, and you can then clear coat, and it'll bring back all the color, make it look beautiful and glossy. So a little trick for you guys. If you're new to paint, most seasoned painters know this kind of stuff, but the finish is good. So it's not too bad. Could definitely be better, but anyway, it is what it is. So this is, all right, this is a great example here of early lacquered finish. All right, so if we come to the light here, you got to kind of look really closely. If we come to the light, you can see the sanding marks from where the guys were taking their sandpaper and going like this, right? They're sanding around these trims. Now, the good thing about lacquer is that it builds onto itself and it melds into every coat. So when you add another coat to this, you will get rid of most of these sanding marks. Not all of them, but most of them, right? And then you'll look at it when it's done, and if you need a third coat, you can put a third coat on there. But that's how you build these coats up to get really nice looking finish. But again, you can see it's almost like a, I don't know what you want to call it. It's just, it needs more paint basically. So anyway, but that's coat number 1. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's initially being done. And this is, believe it or not, this is a plywood that is that UV coated shit that you can buy from like Menards. We've been trying to use some of that on some of our cabinets just for finishing purposes, but it does leave this, it's almost like little hexes, you know, and it's okay. It's like not bad stuff, but it's fairly lightweight, which is kind of nice, but we're just kind of playing around with it. We're always trying new products. So over here, these are all of the fronts for the walnut sideboard that I was just showing you that I'm gray and filling right now. So kind of take a peek at, so take a look at this real quick. All right, so this is a satin clear coat. So if you look in the light here, you can't really see a ton of voids. Like it's all really nice and clear. We got a really nice reflection on it. And this probably is good enough. I do see a couple, see that little halo right there? There's one there and there's one right there. So that's what's gonna have to come out. So we'll flat sand this and probably add another coat to this. But it turned out pretty good. So real happy with this. The customer specifically asked that the trim be darkened. So we went ahead and darkened this with an espresso stain and then applied these trims to the front and then clear coated the whole thing. So these turned out pretty good. I'm real happy with them. We got some kind of pattern on here in the finish. This is coat number 1. This one is coat number 2. So the rest of these have to be, we'll flat sand and then put another coat on there. So we get the finish that, the finish that we want. So, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This was amazing. Just beautiful. I'm remodeling and I subbed your merchandise. I appreciate that. Yeah, go to the Splendid Crow, check it all out. Modern Woodrunner is more of a fabricator's side. Still kind of working on that. But yeah, we got a lot of painted furniture. We're always showing people what we do and trying to teach people how to do what it is that we do. The Modern Woodrunner is the side that is more about how to make furniture, how to paint, getting other people to start their own businesses and learn how to paint, maybe start a furniture company, a trade company, whatever it might be, because truth is we need more people that aren't highly educated starting businesses. Like you can do it. Like I never graduated high school, just busted my ass like big time and made this thing work, and anybody can do it. And that's kind of what this channel is dedicated to. Resplendent Crow is more the pretty, designer stuff, the expensive furniture, the expensive wallpapers and rugs and home decor stuff, So all right, more into our finishes. Let me flip around. Okay, let's come over here. So this is going to be another 9-drawer. So we sell a ton of these. This is Henry Link 9-drawer faux bamboo. Okay, I have a video on the Modern Woodrunner on how to make this. So I build these quite regularly. And anyway, these sell, the vintage ones, we sell them for like $3,800. I make them for about $7,500. So our new ones, of course, will have soft close slides instead of your wood on wood slides. And they'll also be 35 inches tall, whereas the old ones are 32 inches. And ours will be 80 inches long, whereas the standard size on these, I believe, it's either 62 or 72. I forget which it is. So we make these in proportions for other people. Come in here, we've got, this is one of our vanities. Let's see what one this is. So great color, by the way. This is I don't know what color this is exactly. I'll have to look. But anyway, this is the one that's on coat number 1. Remember I showed you guys the fronts, they're right over there. So this one has a pair of drawers at the bottom. This drawer has a U-channel cut in it for your plumbing. So you have one full drawer, one U drawer, and then you have a blank here. And again, it's just like your Henry Link faux bamboo style furniture. So if let me pull this thing over here. Bear with me, guys. One-handed here and almost one-legged. Take our dresser and put our dresser over here. You guys can kind of see. So if you look at, this is our vanity, right? We come over here to the vintage dresser. So very similar faux bamboo. The legs, again, are very similar. Our legs are similar proportions and a lot of the same kind of details. So it's a cool piece. So, but again, everything's on soft close slides, and this is kind of one of the things that people really want. They want that soft close operation. So that's one of the reasons people like to buy our furniture, is that it's vintage furniture in modern sizes with modern features. So people really like that kind of stuff. So, okay, more furniture to show you guys. Put the stuff away and come into my comments. More comments. Okay, it's amazing. Yep, cool. Yeah, good. Glad you found it. Check it out. It's good stuff. You know, tell your friends. Okay, over here, got some nice greens. So this is going to be a bold green color. Might be bottle green. I'm not 100% sure. Bold or bottle green. But the color is beautiful in this one. And this, again, this is one of those Zane credenzas that I'm always telling you guys about. These are our bread and butter cabinets. These are the ones that I make, you know, probably 50 of them a year in all different sizes. This one looks like it's probably 60 inches. The ones in the wood shop are 80 inches. We do 70, and we also do 100. So we sell a lot of these. Real popular, and people like them. So yeah, it's really nice. But again, you can see, got that nice gloss finish all over this piece. And people just love it when they open these things up. And you get that nice, not only the nice color, but the shine. So the doors, again, are over there. We can go look, let's go look at the door real quick. See how the finish on those is going. So funny thing about painting, anyone that's wants to learn about painting, you don't have to spray everything horizontally. Like, you get the best finish when you spray things horizontally, but our painter literally paints almost everything vertically. He does a pretty good job. These actually probably need another coat. And if you look at the light, let's see if I can show you guys. See, there's a little bit of orange peel. See that in the light? Can't have that. So these will be flat sanded and hit with one more coat, and they'll probably come out better. And our painter, he likes to spray everything vertically. You know, he will spray things horizontally, but he may have to spray these horizontally to get them to shine the way they need to shine. So yeah, it's not always, you know, it's not a perfect process. Yeah, same thing here. So it's got the same thing going on. Kind of see you see the light a little bit. Can't have that. It's got to be a direct, because it's an A surface, I have to be able to see my entire face. I should be able to see all the characters of my facial features, everything. And see how it's just kind of, it's not great. So that one needs more work. But the cabinet itself looks pretty good. So yeah, so we got more of that going on. And then one more cabinet over here, guys. I'll take you guys into final assembly. So another Zane credenza. So I'm always showing you guys. This one is only 15 inches deep. Standard on these things is 18. But again, this one's 60 inches. These are an average of $5,000 a piece, okay? Sell 50 of these a year, that's $250,000 in revenue just off one cabinet every year, right? Again, finish on the side's really good. This cabinet looks fantastic. This is gonna be some kind of like McCandless red type color. And great looking piece. You got the nice shine going on in here. This is kind of what the chickies want. The top looks really nice. It's good. So anyway, that's what I'm always trying to tell you guys, that you can do this. It's not, you don't have to be some wizard. You don't have to have the greatest designs ever and the best furniture ever and the best shop, the best tools. It just takes a couple of bread and butter pieces, and you can have a business, right? So let's do some quick math real quick. Go over here. So every one of these credenzas, like I said, sells for about an average of 5,000, right? When we go up to 80 inchers, 80 inchers are 7,000. 100 inchers, I think, are 8,000 or 9,000. Right, so let's just say that sell 50 of these a year at $5,000 just for easy math. That's $250,000. Okay, I guess I have to show you guys this real quick. Hold on. Go to these vanities. Right, I sell 50 of these every year. Not this one particular style, but I have 3 different styles. So I sell 50 of these at an average of about $4,000 a piece. Right, so then you're talking another $200,000. So this bread and butter cabinet, that bread and butter cabinet, excuse me, that one. So you're talking $400,000 to $500,000 in revenue just from these cabinets. The margin on this cabinet is 100%. The margin on that cabinet is 100%. The margin on this cabinet is actually significantly less. It's probably more like 40 or 50%. So there's a lot of money in this kind of furniture if you can make it work. Vintage furniture, the margin on this stuff is anywhere from 15 to 30%, depending on what your how perfect your process goes. Okay, so all right, back to furniture. Okay, so this uses our new finish system, which I'm going to talk about here at the end of the video. Let's pull this thing over here real quick, give you guys a quick look. And then like I said, I'll talk about it at the end of the video. So this is the new finish system, and this thing's pretty cool. So the gloss on this is actually really good, and I know it's yellow. It's a little bit hard to see. You guys are just gonna have to kind of go with me on this, but it does look pretty good. I'm real happy with it. It's got, like I said, it's got lots of shine to it. Got a little bit of orange peely in there, but for the first spray, I think this looks pretty decent. And again, it's yellow. Yellow does not show the best. You know, the side shows really nice. It's a good product. So we'll talk about this product and why we're using it, some of the benefits of this particular product over straight lacquer. So what the hell do we got going on there? Oh, okay, much better. All right, let's go into final assembly. So yeah, bread and butter cabinets are what you need. Making money as a custom furniture maker is freaking hard. It's awesome, and no one wants more than anything in the world than to make custom furniture. Use the beautiful hardwoods and have all the nice machines, and have the fireplace in your woodshed. There's all that like image in your head of how it's supposed to be. Never works out like that. Okay, over here we got more pieces that came in. We got some Baker furniture. This looks like Drexel. Let's go over here and see what we got going on over here. What is this? I don't even know what the hell this is. Yeah, this is all Drexel. Yeah, sorry guys. I guess I can't show you that. Yeah, it's pretty nice looking stuff. And so it needs to go up. So in our facility, we have this big, massive lift right along here. This has a massive, it's like a 12 or a 16-inch ram under the bottom. It just goes straight up, all the way up here, and goes to the second level, which is up there. So that's kind of how all this stuff works. So old building. They used to resurface bowling alleys here, believe it or not. St. Louis was a big bowling hub, and like everything with St. Louis, they've lost all the great stuff. Now it's just what it is. Okay, let's see what we got here. So we got this buffet in a satin finish, and it looks really nice. It's a good looking finish. It's got dust all everything, but that's fine because lacquer dries almost instantly. But this looks really good. Again, this has all been grade filled, and it turned out really nice. I'm real happy with this grain filler. So obviously the client needs to select some hardware, and this thing will be ready to head out. Over here we've got our Ruby Thomas fill. And it seems like we're just selling freaking this kind of furniture a lot lately. But the finish is really nice. It's the gloss is fantastic, as it should be. And the customer's gonna be real happy with this. Again, lots of dust because it's a working shop, but it doesn't matter. It'll all come off. So the stuff that I use for wiping out all my furniture is, I'll show you guys this product. It's this product right here, Wizards Mist and Shine. Smells amazing. I really like Wizards products, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, that's what we use for all of it. You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty cool. All right, over here. So this is, I think this is a Thomasville piece. Let's see here. See, we got I don't know if we have a, yeah, okay, yeah, this is actually called Huntley by Thomasville. So this is a Thomasville piece. The company's actually called Huntley, but you can see the client chose these dark, almost matte black pulls to go with it. I think they did pretty good. That's odd. Most of our clients always pick some kind of brassy look, so it's kind of rare to have someone do a black thing. So this could be a man, but finish on this is pretty nice. You can see me there, my gimpiness, but yeah, it's nice looking piece. So behind that, we got an Arway dresser here. Arway makes great stuff. Big fan of them. Again, got a nice finish there. Again, that's just the side. We gild all of our details where they need to be gilded. So really nice looking piece. Real happy with that. We have a red, some kind of red 12-drawer dresser here. And I think Drexel makes these serpentine dressers. Selling a lot of serpentine stuff. I think I've been talking to you guys about serpentine dressers for a couple months now. They're just real popular, and people seem to like them. Again, those are a nice finish, as always. Client, well, I guess they probably did pick hardwood. Let's see what they're going with. They're going with a 3-day, oh, that's a daisy backplate. So they picked the backplate, apparently not the hardware. So go figure. So there's that, and then this dresser is gonna head out next week. So Monday, I go pick up the base for this. It's a break front base, so the base will raise it up about 8 inches, and we'll paint it gold. It'll look pretty sick when it's all done, but I've been waiting to get that out of here. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Then this piece is going to some massive estate in Washington, Missouri, which I'm doing a whole bunch of pieces for, but it's done, ready to go. We just need to get hardware for it. And it's, like I said, nice, almost like blueberry type color, but pretty cool. So I think I showed you guys this last week. So that's kind of what we got going on there. So I'll flip my camera back around. So yeah, so that's what we got kind of in the shop right now. It's been a freaking busy, busy week. So here, I'll show you guys this desk real quick. I haven't showed you this desk. Move this ladder around. We got, so this used to be my wife's desk. Got some nice, I think this is called is it malachite or I forget all the damn names of all these colors, but really nice rope hardware. So we actually make this stuff. Really cool. We're getting, should get a shipment of this stuff in probably the next month or two from India, of course. That's where all the best hardware is made. It's made of brass. So we got that. And we also, hell, I guess I got one more thing over here. This thing turned out slick. Look at this. It's bright and ruby. It's beautiful. This is all of our faux bamboo hardware. We have all that on their splendidgrow.com. Yeah, it's beautiful. So I think we're the only ones that make that kind of hardware. We also sell all the knobs, again, in solid brass, but the finish is, it's just what we do. This is the best finish. Of course, there's always dust on everything, but really, really nice. So anyone that buys that is gonna really like it. It turned out good. Ruby's such a good color. Of course, we got this one, we have the other one on the other side. So this is obviously this setup here, and then this one's gonna be a 6-drawer with a three drawer hutch. So this is gonna be bottle green, I think. Again, really nice, good looking finish. And this is also our hardware. These are our sunflower poles, if I'm not mistaken. So we sell those again on their splendidgrow.com. And yeah, everyone's buying hardware all of a sudden. So this piece is in here now. We finished this last week. Turned out really nice. Again, people seem to like this gold leafing. Generally, when I make furniture, I make this all brass. So I'm not a big fan of painting. I like to make the real deal. Kind of separates us from everybody else when we have the actual brass material on there. But that one's gilded. It looks really nice. I'm real happy with that one. But this is what I came over here for. This is a cool, good piece. So this is our hardware. We sell all this stuff. These are 3-inch poles. Again, they're really nice finish on there. This is our daisy backplate with a 3-inch ring pull in brass. It turned out pretty nice. So this color is, oh hell, I forget. Maybe Urbane Bronze. I don't remember what that color is. But it's cool, right? Good looking piece, got real nice gloss to it. And again, I think everyone's gonna be real happy with it. If I take it back, no, this one's for sale. So this actually isn't a customer piece. So anyway, okay, that's all I got finally. So yeah, so we'll talk the new paint system, and we'll talk what sales are doing and that kind of stuff. So let me go over here to our vanity. Again, sorry guys, I'm hobbling today. So yeah, man, I'm a freaking runner. Like I run all the time. And I was literally, I came home from my run, and I had to get on the phone with one of my distributors for plywoods, and I sat down and I got up and freaking my knee didn't want to work right. I didn't hear a pop or anything, it just didn't want to work. So, okay, so let's talk about our finish. All right, so what we have going on here, actually let's go back to the wood shop. We'll start there. Go to the wood shop. I've got all these different samples of this new product. So we're probably gonna switch over to a polyurethane product. Come in here. Here's some test samples. So what we have going on here. All right, so this is the finish when it's all polished up. So the finish is spectacular. It's really good. It's just like a car. There's no difference. And again, you can get in as close as you want. Perfect detail. And it's awesome. And this is, so the bottom here is straight off the gun. The top has been polished. And I know you can't really tell because it looks like there's dust right there. But there's some imperfections. If I come in here on the side, you guys look at the light right there. That's an imperfection or a piece of crud or an air bubble. But when you come up top, there's none of it. It's all been completely polished. And anyway, it's sick, right? So why would we consider going to this finish when we already have a perfectly good finish? Here's again another sample. This is straight off the gun. All right, straight off the gun. The finish is fantastic, right? So you can see my veneer press behind me. You can see my phone. It's my stupid little, whatever the hell that thing is, a receiver for my microphone. But it's really good. And you guys can do this in one shot, okay? So we'll talk about that. So this is gonna be your mahogany. Also has the same polyurethane over the top of it. Look at that, Really nice finish. This is what our customers want. They want really shiny and beautiful. They don't want the dull traditional finishes that you would get on stained grade furniture. So, okay, so let's talk finishes. Flip back around. Gosh dang it. I guess trying to get my camera to go around. What am I doing here? There we go. Okay, so what we're doing is we're probably going to switch over to a different kind of a finish because Sherwin-Williams is going downhill fast. And the truth is that, sit down, is that, so we've been using Sherwin-Williams products for 5 years at this point, and I've always been very happy with them. And the truth is that Sherwin-Williams goes through store managers like Playboys go through chicks, man. They just run through them. And we just haven't got a lot of good managers as we've been cycling through. When we signed on with Sherwin, we had a great store manager. Product was always coming in on time, and the color matches were always really good. And then as they started moving different store managers, it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And so the matches didn't match. And then after that, we started to have paint issues because Sherwin switched their tint system, right? So they went from a system that was like something like a maximizer system to an accurate maximizer system. And that system actually had more tints, right? So it was supposed to be better from a color standpoint. But we had tints that were way off. We couldn't match tints. We couldn't match colors, which was a real problem. We had issues with paint literally falling off of cabinets. There's something wrong with their titanium dioxide. If you use blues, whites, it's been a problem having the paint adhere to itself, which is a no-no. We can't have that. The other things that we've seen paints that literally. So what you have to understand about lacquer is when you spray lacquer on top of a cabinet, it goes on like a candy coating, right? Like an M&M. It's very hard, and if you take it off, it chips off, right? It's very hard. But anyway, we've had issues where their paints have been coming in and they're like latex paint. They're almost rubbery, and they peel off in strips, which is just wild, you know. So anyway, we've just had a lot of issues with Sherwin ever since they switched over their toner and then getting new store managers. So we've decided we're probably going to change our paint system over to a company, mostly Mohawk. We're going to go to mostly Mohawk paints for a lot of our base coats and a lot of our primary vinyl sealing products. But then we're going to go to a company called Novalk, right? So this is the thing that you guys, if you're listening to this is some good information for you. This company is called Novalk. They're Novalk, Novalk, and they're out of Spain, and their finish is amazing. Okay, so let's talk about what we've got going on here. Flip this thing around here. All right, so traditionally what we do is we would take this cabinet, we would sand it, we would prime it, then we would sand it, we would paint it, and until we got the right shine we want, we would add maybe 2 to 3 coats of base coat, and then we'll clear coat, right? So you're talking like 4 to 5 different coats of product, okay? Now, every single one of these steps takes time, right? So when you can sand and you can prime on the same day, right? So sanding a cabinet generally takes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Like it's a process to take that cabinet apart, sand it all down. It takes a lot of work. We generally sand up to 220. Then we run into our paint department, okay? In our paint department, we're gonna spray with a vinyl sealer. And I've shown you guys my vinyl sealers many times. That vinyl sealer takes a minimum of 6 hours till it's really dry enough to sand, okay? So once you have it dry enough, then you can sand it and move on to the paint process. But the issue is that you can't sand a cabinet, prime a cabinet, and paint a cabinet in the same day. There's just not enough hours in the day to perform all those functions. You can use Novalk's primer, and we did our test on it. We were able to sand in 60 minutes. So that means that we can sand a cabinet and prime a cabinet, okay, in one day, no problem. Now, to make it even better, traditionally when we sand a primed surface, we then have to paint, right? So we put on paint in various stages, but all in all, it generally takes us at least a day to paint a cabinet because of all the different coats we have to put on, waiting for things to dry, and it can take as much as 2 days. It just kind of depends. This Novalk product, it can go on, and you can basically just lay a bunch of coats on every 15 minutes. Like that's how fast it dries. You can lay coats on, build them up, and that product will be dry in about 2 hours, okay? So you can prime and you can paint in the same day, which is something that's never been possible for us. It's never been an option. So from a performance standpoint, that's incredible. Okay, their color matches are pretty good because they're going to be run through. They're going to be run through, and in this case, Flanagan is the company that we have here in St. Louis. I believe that they're partnering with. But anyway, so we can prime and we can paint all on the same day, which is freaking crazy. It's insane. Okay, so on top of that, we would then put a clear coat over our base coat to give it the shine that we need, because the paints that we traditionally use just don't have the shine. And even the Novok paint looks pretty good without clear coat on it, but it just isn't quite up to where it needs to be for the Resplendent Crows product. So again, 2 hours to dry on the base coat, we can then lay clear over the top of it. So technically speaking, we can, for the first time ever, we can prime, paint, and clear coat a cabinet in one day, which is mind-blowing. Like, for us, it's mind-blowing, you know? So anyway, so we're still trying to wrap our heads around how we can run our production when you can literally prime, paint, and clear coat on the same day. And the best thing is the polyurethane dries so quickly that, technically speaking, the next day you can shrink wrap and blanket wrap that cabinet and ship it off. You know, so that's what we're kind of looking at doing. We're looking to switch it over to that system. The math that we're doing right now is we don't want to go with just one company. I've never thought it wise to put all your eggs in one basket. So I think what we're going to end up doing is we're probably going to end up going with the Mohawk vinyl sealer, which still takes a while to dry. We're going to end up going with the Mohawk base coat, and then we're probably going to end up going with this Novok clear coat on top of that. And we're probably just going to get Sherwin out of our product entirely, which kind of sucks, to be quite honest with you. I really like Sherwin's product. I really like the company, but their customer service has gone way downhill. They switched over their tint system, and it's just not reliable anymore. And we can't, as a company that just turns over, 40, 50 pieces a month, we can't be guessing on color. We can't be, well, I hope Sherwin delivers a good product. We just can't have that anymore. So point is that we're switching over to a new product, and we're trying some new things, and I think it's going to be good. You know, kind of scary, but change is good. It's the only thing that's inevitable. So that's kind of what we got going on there. Now, if you guys have any questions about this Novok product, or you guys want to see some test stuff, you want to know anything about it at all, please let me know, because we'll be probably one of the first people in St. Louis to use this product, I think. I don't know. But anyway, ask questions, I'll be happy to answer. But anyway, okay, so now talk about the sales and furniture industry and all that kind of stuff. So the funny thing about sales right now is sales are really good. The volume of sales is fantastic. The quantity, the value of every sale, right? The price of every sale has come down, So whereas May, we were just crushing it. We had one of the best months we've had since COVID. And then come this month, a lot of sales orders, but people are ordering hardware like crazy. And I don't know why. They're still ordering furniture. I mean, we'll still move probably $120 in furniture, which is good. But I mean, we're going to move $20K in hardware, which is pretty high, So I don't know why everyone's buying hardware all of a sudden and not as much furniture. This is what I was telling you guys. You want to have multiple revenue streams because you just don't know what is going to sell. There is, honestly, guys, there is no correlation in all my years of doing business. There's no correlation between the sale of hardware, brass hardware, with the furniture. There's no correlation between us selling new furniture and our hardware, and vintage furniture and our hardware. It's very weird. Another thing that we've done, which may contribute a little bit to this, is we've started to kind of partner and do a little bit of wholesaling with people, which I can only wholesale because it's all made in India. If it was made here in America, I could never wholesale. But point is that I think that might have upped the volume quite a bit, but you don't make as much money wholesaling as you do selling at retail. But you can move a lot more, which can kind of make up for it a little bit. So anyway, so we're seeing a lot of hardware sales. I think hardware is gonna let us have another good month another good month this year. Right after May, June's gonna be good because of hardware, So anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. We're getting a lot of inquiries, a lot of trade accounts. Generally, the way I know trade accounts are moving is because I get emails saying, so and so has applied for a trade account. So I'll see these things, and normally I probably see half a dozen a month. And I probably saw at least double that, which is cool. That means designers are looking products, right? They're looking for ways that they can have goods made or goods delivered, but then also get a discount so they can put a little bit of that money in their pocket, which means they got rich people that are looking to have their houses redone. You know, so even though the housing market is slow, the overall furniture market seems like it's doing okay. I honestly haven't talked to a bunch of people in the furniture industry this month. I just hadn't been on my radar, but we're seeing good sales. Things are moving. A lot of good inquiries coming in. We've got, like I said, big sale for the month was a $12,000 credenza, which I made the initial one for my wife. She did a bunch of content about it. Somebody saw it, decided they had to have one, and so we sold one. You know, which is cool. So, but the content wasn't made around the credenza. The content was made around a room that my wife is redoing. I told you guys this in some of my previous streams. Branch out your content, guys. And this is a thing that, again, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But even if like we're in the furniture space, my wife is putting out a lot of content about the interior design industry, redesigning rooms, even like DIY type content, which normally you wouldn't associate high-end furniture with DIY, but it's got our content out to a lot more people, and a lot more eyeballs are seeing our stuff now, which is really cool. I told you guys in the past that we did a lot of photos of our furniture. We'd put out like reels and videos and things like that about our furniture, and that always seemed to work okay. But when we transitioned over to a lot of this DIY stuff and like the Modern Woodrunner, just showing people how we make things and talking about furniture and stuff like that, it's opened up everything to a lot more eyeballs, and I think it's really what's helped us with our sales this year. So something you guys might consider doing that's, again, I think it's helped us, and I'm going to continue to do it, and my wife's going to continue to do it. So anyway, that's what I got today for the shop. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I know, sorry it's on a Sunday, not Friday like it's normally been, but it is what it is. So we'll hopefully have a new week, do what's in the shop on Friday during the normal Friday. My legs should be good again, and get back at it. So everyone have a great weekend. Talk to you later.